Hey guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Gonna do one of the new Ozzy Osbourne songs. Got some requests for them, specifically this one. Really nice ballad, and it's got two really killer solos by Slash in it too. So I'm going to be covering all of it here in this lesson. Before we get to it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell so you know when I release a new video, and check out my Guitar Academy course. You'll see the link in the description. It's at GuitarLessons365.com. It's got all my guitar courses, doing technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, you name it, we got it. So please go over there and check it out. Alright, so let's get started with this. We're in standard tuning. This is on piano, so I thought maybe I should just do it on acoustic. But I just get an arrangement of the piano chords for you guys. And so we're going to get through all of that first, and you're going to have to suffer through my singing so you can know where we're at in the song. And then after we get all the rhythm guitar, all the chords of the tune down, I'll go back and I'll do Slash's two solos. Alright, so let's jump into it. So this, the piano line at the beginning, the instrumental version of it, the very beginning, there's a little fill in there. So I did that too. So we have this. Alright, so that's going to start with this E major chord up here. So 7th fret there on the A, and then 9th fret there on the D, G, and the B. To kind of recreate what's going on the piano, you can kind of hit the top of the end of the chord and then come and hit the bass note. Sounds pretty good. And then we're going to keep this the same, the bar at the 9, but move the bass note down to the 6th fret. Alright, then we go to a C sharp minor chord. The bar at the 4th, 5th fret on the B string, 6th on the G and the D. Once again, kind of strumming the higher part of the chord and then come back and get the bass note. So. Then do the same thing off of a B major chord. So 2nd fret there on the D. I'm sorry, D, what am I talking about? 2nd fret on the A string. And then 4th fret on the D, G, and the B. So it's a little bar there. Then you're going to take that to an A major chord. And this is where that little piano fill happens. Might be Elton John. I know Elton John sings the second verse, and he kind of sings along with him some of the other parts. Maybe he's playing piano here too. So that little thing, I'm playing the A first, and then I'll pick the 2nd fret there on the B, which I'm already holding obviously, and then hammer on the 3rd fret, pull back off to 2. Then 2nd fret on the D, on the G, and then 2nd fret on the D. Let that ring. So just pick down to the chord. We're going to take that to an F sharp minor chord. So it's a full bar at the 2nd fret, then the 4th fret there on the D and the A. And then we have a B sus4 to a B major. So you don't really have to do a bar here if you don't want to. We could just play the 2nd fret on the A, 4th fret on the D, 4th fret on the G, 5th fret there on the B string, so that makes it a sus4 chord. And then resolve that note on the B string down to the 4th fret. So all together. Alright, now the vocals come in, and it's pretty much the same, except I'm not doing kind of the fills. We just have the I was unprepared for fame when everybody knew my name. So when you get to the A, don't do the fill. No more lonely nights, it's all that F sharp minor, and then just to the B. You don't have to, you can skip this sus4. Then repeat. I've traveled many miles, I've seen tears and I've seen smiles. Just remember that it's all for you. Then we get to the pre-chorus, which looks like this. Don't forget me as the colors fade. When the lights go down, it's just an empty stage. Okay. That takes us to the chorus. So this is kind of hard to sing. Ozzy definitely has not lost his vocal. There's some really nice vocals in this song. He can still get up there. So we start with that C sharp minor chord. Don't forget me. To the B major. To an A. And then there's a quick little chromatic, that little bass line that moves us up to the start over with the C sharp minor chord. So that's just open A, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 on the A. So just trying to make it sound as close to the record as possible. So get me as the colors fade. When the lights go down, it's just an empty stage. Okay. All right, and then we get to the chorus, which looks like this. Yes, I've been a bad guy, been higher than the blue sky, and the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. I've made mama cry, don't know why I'm still alive. Yes, the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. Alright, so once again, hard to sing. So starts with that B major. Yes, I've been a bad guy. And then to that F sharp minor chord. Been higher than the blue sky. Take that down to an E major chord. And the truth is then it gets pretty interesting with the chorus. Don't wanna die an ordinary man. So what he's doing, we go from an E major first to an E minor 7 chord. Pretty cool change there. So we're doing that by picking up the note that we're playing on the G string. So what is that? So it's an open G. And then we have the 3rd fret there on the B. And then he resolves that to an E minor 6 chord. So then we go to an A sus4 chord, open A string, 2nd fret on the D, 2nd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the B. That's the sus4, and resolve that down to an A major. So we have that like this. Yes, I've been a bad guy, been higher than the blue sky, and the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. Repeat. Make mama cry, don't know why I'm still alive. Yes, the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary. And then so after 2 times through, it just gets back to the verse by going a quick little G major, A to a B there. And then Elton John's verse comes in, which is really the same chords. Then we go back through the exact same pre-chorus and chorus. And then that leads us into the solo rhythm, the rhythm guitar part for the first solo, Slash's first solo. So that's it's kind of a little bit different than we done so far. So it's kind of a longer progression too. So there's 2 solos. The progressions for each one are pretty similar, except for the very end of each one. So, so this main solo, the first solo you hear, here's the chord progression for it. Alright, so it kind of goes back to the chorus there at the very end, the kind of chorus progression. So we start with that G, to an A, to a B. Kind of hold that twice. Back to the G, and the A, and the B. And instead of holding the B twice as long though, now we the B just as long as the other ones, and then we go to an F sharp major chord. So that's just a bar at the 2nd fret, and then play the 4th fret there on the D, and the A, and the 3rd fret on the G. So that's half of the progression, so we have this so far. Alright, now we start back over. G, A, B. This time go G, A, to B, to a D. So the 3rd time through is G, A, B, D. Alright, so you can kind of look at it as like G, A, B, B, G, A, B, F sharp, G, A, B, D. So it's always G, A, B, and something else. So G, A, B, D, and then the last at the very end of the solo we have that G doesn't go to A though. Now it's a little bit different. Now we have G to that F sharp to the E, and then it kind of does like we do in the chorus. We make it an E minor 7. You can do the full moves too, or sometimes just show them an E minor 7 to an A. All right, and then that goes back into the the same chorus, I guess. Now there's some little guitar lines going on there too, melodies. I'm not really doing those. I'm just going to be covering the solos, not the stuff that's going along with the chorus, all the fills and stuff. So let me just talk real quick about the outro solo. It's the same progression we just did. At the very end, I'll show you. So the first 3 times through the progression is the same. The F sharp ending there, the G, now the D ending, and here's where it's different. Instead of going to G to F sharp to E, like that, it just goes that little ending G, A, B, and then the orchestra does a version of it. So that's just the same way, except for that very ending of the progression, just go G, A, B to end the track there. So I'm going to now go through Slash's solos, note for note. So here we go. All right, so that's got some really cool stuff in it too. So we're going to start here with kind of just there at the 6th fret there on the G string, kind of a half step bend. And then play 6/4. Back to the 6th. And then we're going to play bend at the 7th fret on the G string. And 7 normal. Back to 4. Back to 7 on the G. And then slide into the B note here, which is at the 9th fret on the D string. So we have this. All right, next phrase. All right, so after you slid here to this 9th fret there on the D string, we pick that 9th again on the D, hammer on 8 to 9 on the G, over to 7 on the B, roll over to 7 on the high E string, back to the 7 on the B string, and that little thing right there is going to do a pre-step half bend, half step there at the 9th fret on the high E string, and then bend it up again and release, and then you're going to play that 7 on the high E over to the 7 on the B. So we have this. Then we go back to that 9th fret on the high E string. So that's that half step bend on the 9th fret, then play 9, 7, over to 7 on the B string, then a whole step bend to the 10th fret on the high string, then play 10, 7, back to the 10, and then slide into the 12th fret there on the B. So we have this. All right, next phrase. So we have this little half step bend and release at the 11th fret on the B string. Then you're going to hammer, you pick 11, hammer 12, and then pick hammer 14. Then pick 14 again, back down to 12, and then 15, 14. So it is. Then play 15, 17, 15 on the B string. Into a bend there at the 17th fret. Then pick that again, release the bend and pull off to 15, and then over to the bend at the 15th fret on the high E string. So hit this. All right, now from here, we're going to do one of those kind of patented slash legato-y, picky type things. It looks like this. So now, the way we're going to approach this is kind of the way he always approaches these things. He doesn't play them exactly the same way twice, so there's really no point in trying to do that. Let me just show you the notes first, and then you can just kind of do your own. The idea is to get back for that bend there at the end. So the notes are 15, 14, 12 on the high E and B. Then 14, 12, 11 on the G and D. So what he does first is he'll start the lick by going, playing 15, 14, 12 on the high E twice. And then he starts going nuts. And then he works his way all the way down to that 11 on the D string. And then he starts working his way back up. The important part is to get to that bend at the 14th fret there. Holds that bend. So from there, it looks like this. All right, so we have the bend at the 14th fret. Release it, and then go 12, 14, and 15. And then here, which is kind of a hard move. What you're going to do is a bend at the 17th fret, and pick it twice, pick it again when you get up top. And you notice how you're getting the B string underneath your finger too. So what he does here is he goes, and then he goes over and plays, since he's already on the 17th fret there on the B string that's already bent. He picks the 17th fret there on the B and releases the bend. And when he does that, you mute it with his middle finger here. So we have this like that. And then another bend. And then pick the 17 bent on the B as again and release it. Like that. So you gotta make sure you mute that high E string when you pick the B string, so that it doesn't sound like this. And he ends the solo there with the 16th fret bend and release at the half step bend and release. And it goes back to the chorus. And like I said before, there's some, over this chorus, there's some little guitar melodies going on too in the background. Chose not to really focus on that. Instead, we're going to go jump now to the outro solo, which sounds like this. All right, so we're going to start with some unison bends here. All right, so that's going to be 7th fret there on the high E string and 10th fret there on the B. So you pick both of those and then bend up the note on the B string up a whole step until the notes become even. So unison. So you gotta pick it twice, and then do the same thing up at the 9th fret. But on the second hit of it, we go. You release the bend there at the 12th fret and pull off to the 10th fret. So it is. And then the unison bend at the 11th fret. A couple of those, and then we have this. Play 11, 14 on the high E string, and that's a half step bend and release a couple times with the 14th fret on the B string over to 2 on the the 12th fret on the B string over to the 14th fret on the G. So we have this. And then jump over here to the 10th fret here on the high E string. So we have this. All right, so after you did it, the 10th fret on the G, do kind of a bend and release on the 12th fret on the high E. Yeah, actually, you're like this. kind of play a 12-10, I believe, and then a bend and release of the 12. So I'll kind of go up here so I don't get lost. All right, so that 10th fret, then you play 12-10, bend and release at the 12th fret, and then another bend and release, So this. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna hammer from 11 to 12 on the high E string. So this, hammer 11 to 12, and then pick the 12, hammer off, pull off to 11, and then play 12 on the B, and 11 on the G string. Hit that a couple times, then jump back here to the 9th fret on the high E string, half step bend, and then pick it without the bend, then 7 on the high E, the 7 on the B. So with this. From there we have a 7th fret there on the B string, then the 9th fret bend and release, kind of do a bend, release, and pick 9, 7, then over to 7 again on the B, then a whole step bend at the 10th fret, then play 10, 7, back to that 10, and then slide to that 12 on the B. From here we have this. All right, so that requires a 1.5 bend. Unfortunately, my guitar is a little under the weather. It's kind of fretting out on me there. Should sound like that, but it does not want to do it. So that's the 12th fret on the B, and then a 1.5 bend at the 14th fret on the high E string. Then we play 14, 12 on the high E, then back to 14 on the high E, and then play 15, 12 on the G string, and then 14, 11 on the G. So we have this. And then end the solo like this. So that's just coming out. So that's a bend at the 12th fret on the high E. Whole step bend, and then play 12, 10, 12. And then whole step bend at the 10th fret on the high E string. Then play 10, 7, 10. And then slide into that 12th fret there on the B. Kind of start slowing down right there. So it's kind of slowly slowing down, and then we have this. So that's how you're holding that 12. Then pick 10 on the B, and then slide down into the 9th fret on the G. And he does a quick little bend and release. And you can pull off to the 8 or just pick the 8. That's the way it is. All right, so another set of slash solos under our belts there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's actually a really nice song, and it's got some great solos in it too. So I'll see you guys again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.